Hello students, welcome to Studify Success. I am Utsav and this is 6th lecture of Quadrilateral. So we will move to our first question for the day. That is, ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to BC and BD is a diagonal and E is a midpoint of AD. So यहाँ पे हमें क्या गिवन है that ABCD is a trapezium in which AB is parallel to BC. AB is parallel to BC. Also E is a midpoint and the line formed by EF is parallel to AB. This is also given to us. So overall AB is parallel to EF and EF is parallel to CD. We have to prove F is a midpoint of BC. So firstly we will consider triangle BAD. This triangle. So in triangle BAD हमें ये given है that E is a midpoint of AD and EG is parallel to AB. So by converse of midpoint theorem we can say that G is also a midpoint of BD. So this implies that G is a midpoint of BD. Now in triangle BBC, in this triangle हमें क्या given है G is a midpoint of BD and since EF is parallel to CD, so a part of EF, that is GF, is also parallel to CD. So again by converse of midpoint theorem we can say F is a midpoint of BC. So इस क्वेश्चन में हमने सिर्फ दो बार midpoint theorem का converse यूज करा है and we got the result that F is a midpoint of BC. यहाँ पे हमें given था ABCD is a trapezium, AB is parallel to BC and EF is also parallel to AB, that is AB parallel to EF, EF parallel to BC. So all three lines are parallel. Then हमने ABD में midpoint theorem का converse लगा के prove किया that अगर E midpoint है and EG is parallel to AB, so G is also midpoint of BD by converse of midpoint theorem. Similarly, we apply converse of midpoint theorem in triangle BDC where G is midpoint of BD and GF is parallel to CD. So we say that by converse of midpoint theorem, F is a midpoint of BC. Next question is, in a parallelogram ABCD, E and F are midpoints of AB and CD respectively. We have to show that the line segment AF and EC trisect the diagonal BD. So हमें क्या क्या information given है that ABCD is a parallelogram. So ABCD is a parallelogram given to us and it is given that E is a midpoint, that is this AE equals to BE and FD equals to FC. Since it is a parallelogram, so opposite sides are equal, hence their half are also equal, that is DF equals to FC equals to AE equals to BE. Also हमें ये प्रूव करना है कि AF and AC trisect the diagonal BT. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जो BP है वो PQ के इक्वल है एंड QB के इक्वल है, दैट इज ये तीनों ही जो है ना, ये तीनों ही पार्ट्स इक्वल हैं, QB, PQ और BP. ये हमें प्रूव करना है. सो हम कैसे प्रूव करेंगे? So firstly we will consider that ABCD is a parallelogram, so AB is parallel to CD, right? So अगर AB is parallel to CD तो AE जो है वो FC के पैरेलल होगा. अगर ये पूरी लाइन सेगमेंट CD AB के पैरेलल है तो इसका जो हाफ होगा FC is also parallel to AE and also since हमने ये भी प्रूफ किया है कि opposite sides are equal, hence their half are also equal, so FC equals to AE. So in parallelogram, in quadrilateral AECF हमने ये प्रूफ कर दिया कि A जो है FC के इक्वल भी है और पैरेलल भी है, राइट? सो यहाँ से हम ये प्रूफ करते हैं कि AECF is a parallelogram. Now we will prove that in triangle ABC, अब हम क्या प्रूव करेंगे कि in triangle DQC, that is DQC, in this triangle हम क्या प्रूफ करेंगे, हमने ये प्रूफ किया था दैट AEFC जो है AECF इज अ पैरेललोग्राम, राइट. दिस साइड इज पैरेलल एंड इक्वल्स टू दिस साइड इज पैरेलल एंड इक्वल्स टू दिस साइड. सो अब हम क्या करेंगे, हम ये प्रूफ करेंगे कि इस इन दिस ट्राइंगल दैट इज DQC, इसमें अगर ये पैरेललोग्राम है तो ऑपोजिट साइड्स AF इज इक्वल एंड पैरेलल टू EC. सो अगर ये पूरी लाइन से पैरेलल है तो इसका पार्ट दैट इज PF इज आल्सो पैरेलल टू QC and हमें ये given है that F is a midpoint of DC. So by converse of midpoint theorem we can say P is a midpoint of DQ. That is this two lines that is DP जो है वो QP के इक्वल हो गया by converse of midpoint theorem. यहाँ पे F is a midpoint of DC and इससे जॉइन हो रही है एक लाइन जो कि QD के P पॉइंट पे कट कर रही है. The PF जो है वो QC के पैरेलल है. So converse of midpoint theorem says that P is also a midpoint of DQ. इससे ये प्रूव होगा DP जो है PQ के इक्वल है. Now in triangle ABC, that is ABC, this triangle, since AFCE is a parallelogram, so this QE जो होगा वो AP के पैरेलल होगा, right. And since E is a midpoint of AB, so E जो है वो midpoint है और Q पॉइंट पे कट कर रही है PB को, and QE is parallel to AP. So by converse of midpoint theorem, Q is a midpoint of BP. So पहले हमने प्रूफ किया DP जो है वो PQ के इक्वल है, हमने प्रूफ किया PQ जो है वो BQ के इक्वल है. Hence we prove that all three are equal. So हमने क्या करा, बस कन्वर्स को यूज करा इन टू ट्रायंगल्स DQC and triangle APB and we proved that DP equals to PQ which is equals to BQ. Hence the line segment AF and EC trisect the diagonal BT. Now we will move to the next question. So next question is ABC is a triangle, right angle at C and a line through the midpoint M. So M is the midpoint here and this is 90 degree and AB is parallel to BC. Sorry, ABC is a triangle right angle at C and a line through the midpoint M of hypotenuse AB parallel to BC intersect AC at D. So हमें इस क्वेश्चन में क्या गिवन है कि M is a midpoint and this triangle, this angle C is 90 degree and also it is given to us that is MD is parallel to BC. So what we will do is कि अगर MD is parallel to BC then corresponding angles are equal. So angle C is 90 degree, so angle MDA is also 90 degree. So this is 90 degree because corresponding angles are equal as MD is parallel to BC and also AM is equal to BM. Now हमने ये प्रूव कर दिया, we have to prove that D is the midpoint of AC. So in triangle ABC, this line MD is parallel to BC and M is the midpoint of AB. So this implies by converse of midpoint theorem, M is also a midpoint of AC. So we proved the first part here that D is the midpoint of AC. Now since MD is parallel to BC and AC acts as a transverse cell, so since C is 90 degree, so D is also 90 degree as corresponding angles are equal. Now we have to prove that CM, that is CM is equals to AM and these two are half of AB. ये हमें prove करना है. So what we will do is we will prove that these two triangles, that is triangle AMD, this triangle is congruent to triangle CMD. सो हम कैसे करेंगे? सो हम क्या करेंगे? In this triangle, first thing which is visible to us is MD is a common side. Secondly, since this is 90 degree, so by linear pair this is also 90 degree. Okay, and since uh, what we were doing is this is 90 degree and this is common side, and since AC is a midpoint, right? Since D is the midpoint of AC, we proved in first part, so this side is equals to this side. So in triangle CDM and triangle AMD, we proved by A as congruency that AMD is congruent to CMD. So by CPCT we can say that CN equals to AM. And also we know that AM is equals to BN. Now we have to prove that AM is equals to CN. We proved by CPCT. We have to prove that this is half of AB. So since AB का midpoint है M, so AM is half of AB. Since AB equals to CM, so both of them are equals to half of AB. This is what we are supposed to prove. So students, this is all about today's class. If you want to download the notes of this class, you can find the link in the description box.